Well, hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of July, right through the end of August 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, you may notice I have reinstated the Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aries, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things come together. Also worth noting, if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That's more likely to be a false flame connection, and that will drain you of your beautiful love and waste your wonderful time, of course. Now, the difference between a false flame and a twin flame, because they are very similar, however, a false flame will trigger you without any evolution, no desire to focus on your sense of purpose, no personal development or growth, and no, stepping up to try and overcome any obstacles, no advancement in the union. It will be in a cycle repeat that never ever changes, okay? Twin flames, of course, they are magnetic. It is another worldly experience. It's a love like no other. You're drawn to your person like a magnet, and of course it's very intense, overwhelming, almost obsessive at the very beginning of the connection. You can't stop thinking about them and only them, and they feel the same way about you because, of course, it is an energetic exchange, okay? Now, the twin flame dynamic is, of course, physical in nature when you first meet, but the process of a twin flame relationship is more of a spiritual awakening than an actual physically romantic relationship. It's a process that prepares us to release low vibrational energy that keeps us stuck in either fear, addictive patterns, or even unhealthy attachments. It's a very intense inner vibrational transformation, but it is a personal journey of discovery, and it is one that must be done alone. That's why we tend to have a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Now, that's not always typical to form, but it tends to be the usual case when it comes to a twin flame dynamic. The separation period is a rite of passage. It's meant to occur. It can happen for days, weeks, months, years, decades. So I always say, do not wait for your twin, because of course they have a journey to come back to self, to, activate unconditional love for self, but also focus on their sense of purpose. And they could take a long time to do that. So you are triggered, shall we say, by your twin in order to discover your true purpose and embrace unconditional love for self. And only then can the reunion reunion process take place, but also be sustainable. Now, your twin will illuminate the shadows that prevent us from loving ourselves fully. And of course, it's about peeling back the layers towards acceptance, self-love, compassion, and understanding. And it is a mirrored experience. You may have often heard the term mirroring when it comes to a twin flame dynamic. And basically what it means is when you look at your twin, you're looking in a mirror of all the things that are being amplified within you that's triggering any fear, in codependency, trust issues, insecurities, addictions. It really makes you face the stuff. So when, the runner looks in that mirror, when they look at you, they look at all the things within themselves that they have been running away from their whole life because they're emotionally avoidant, okay? So, of course, it's not a game. It's an energetic exchange. It is, a human being trying to wrestle with complex feelings and experiences that went before you even meet your twin, because twins tend to have had a very challenging path towards each other. It's often a formed sacred union as a result of shared difficulty and pain. So whilst you may have not gone through the exact same thing, of course, there is lessons that are very similar that you'll learn when it comes to your twin flame dynamic. Now, their presence is to amplify certain areas of your life in order to promote that healing, that personal growth, and of course, transformation. And, I like to explain twin flames like magnets, both identical in polarity. There is this push and pull, of course, when you think about magnets that are in the same frequency. So it's important to recognize that you share a vibration that is identical to your twin. You are, connected with that vibration. And two magnets that, of course, have the same vibration, they attract each other, but also repel each other. There is that space in between, and it is on purpose. It is a rite of passage, as I mentioned there, because both of you need to change your frequency in order to come back towards each other. And by changing your frequency, of course, that means putting all that love, care, devotion, energy inwards onto your own priorities and, on your own purpose path, but also to have unconditional love for self, because we cannot truly love another person unless we love ourselves fully. So, the chaser, let's say this is the magnet, because as a twin flame dynamic, you are a magnet and your person is a magnet, and both of you are charged in the same way. So if you think about you and your energy, if you keep thinking about your person reaching out, of course, it will perpetuate the cycle. It will never really truly transform. So once you step away and remove yourself from that energy, and I can see that happening in your reading right now, that's when you encourage your person to come towards you, and also they get an opportunity to step up or step out of the union by transforming their energy too. Now, of course, not everybody takes the twin flame journey. You can disconnect, cut a cord. There'll always be only one twin. And of course, when you come together in a union, that is a magnificent energy. It is a love like no other. However, it is often a lonely journey depending on how long the twin takes. So I'm going to send you a huge hug out there and so much love, and try and understand what's going on with you, your person right now, and of course, the outcome. And we have that shadow self as your first card, which of course is the Devil card. Now, this indicates that you are in a period where you feel stuck in a rut, okay? The World card indicates you feel it's over. You've learned a lot of lessons there. We have that Hangman energy, which means you've got a lot of downloads. You're learning about yourself. You're learning about the human psyche, why people do things, but you do feel like you're on hold. And in this period, I feel like you are going through a period of enlightenment. I feel like you're very impatient with this person because you've had so much patience. It's like, come on already. I'm being given this energy of them sitting on the fence, as it were, and you kind of like wanting to push them off the fence, like make a decision. Are you in or are you out? But I feel this has like run its course in your life, this thought process now, and I feel like you are deciding to disconnect because you fear that, of course, you'll be waiting forever. You've waited a long time. There's even a clock on that devil card. So it can indicate that you feel stuck in a rut, that you are almost like addicted to this person. There's a lot of intensity, a lot of physical kind of attraction there. And you may have been questioning, was this just lust? Is this love? Is this obsession? You know, what is this? Is there such a thing as a twin flame dynamic? And of course, I see that you are dealing with a twin here, because we do have the runner card. Seven of Swords is someone who protects their feelings, someone who has had an experience in the past that has made them be protective of their energy. So I see two people right now in self-preservation mode for different reasons, but of course we have that devil energy. So I feel a lot of you are trying to follow your passions in life, reignite that spark. And that's exactly the energy I got from the Gaia chimes earlier. It's like you are a magical being. You have so much light and spark within you. And you may have felt that this relationship somehow canceled out your energy for a while, but it was there to break down this sense of ego. Now we all go through it. It's not like an ego where, you know, you think you're better than everybody. It's a different layer of ego where you start to really look at the authentic self and really recognize what it is you want in a relationship, what you don't want, how to erect healthier boundaries, value yourself in a different way. And for some of you, not all of you, of course, because the devil card can highlight an anxiety and a fear and a feeling of being just stuck in a cycle of repeat, because that world card indicates you've been going round and round and round in circles with this person, and it has been a never-ending story, and you're just fed up of it. But the devil card can also indicate that there was some sort of substance abuse or addiction. I mean, you could have met your person when you were out partying, for example, and both of you highly intense human beings, you know, really kind of in this moment of passion, really getting caught up with each other. And then suddenly there's this realization like, whoa, there's something more to this. It's not just like a physical thing, especially since your person has got the Four of Wands there. Now, this indicates that this person wants to reunite with you, okay? I feel with the world energy there as well, they want to get a little bit more involved in the connection, and they also have the Ten of Pentacles. Now, this tells me that there is something in this person's family lineage. There's like a secret in their family. And I feel this is something that perhaps has some level of interference in this twin flame dynamic. I'll have to pull some cards on it, because looking at the energy, you know, they are coming towards you now, just as you remove yourself, because, you know, the Hangman is you withdrawing your energy and saying, you know what, this relationship turned my world upside down. You felt very lost or in limbo with this, and almost like suspended. And if I know an Aries, and I know quite a few, you're very passionate, intense, so fun to be with, full of action and fun. You know, this is an energy like, why are we waiting on this? I feel like you've been taking stock and you've been working out kind of like where you really want to stand in this by taking back the power. And you're making a stand, and that stand is to hold back. You know, I feel like you started to unveil who you really are to this person. You gave so much love and understanding and patience to this person, even though there seems to be some sort of toxic repeat or cycle of repeat going on there. I'm going to pull a card on this. Remember, if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. But looking at the energy, I want you to be aware the Devil card is not a negative card. It highlights where we're feeling stuck. And where you may be feeling stuck in this union is that, you know, you are feeling this need to withdraw, but at the same time, you may kind of be feeling, should I wait? Should I stay? Should I go? What should I do here? The world is at the bottom of your chart energy, which means that basically you feel it's best to break a cycle, that you can't do this anymore. It's time to let go. And the Hangman is like a surrender. So you're surrendering to this union in a different way. It's like you're sacrificing it now. Like what will be. Because as far as you're concerned with that world energy, you know, you've learned a lot of lessons here, but you feel the cycle is somehow complete or it's over. You can't do this anymore. You're trying to open yourself up to a new chapter. And it's interesting because you're triggering your person's new chapter. And their new chapter is to reach out. The Four of Wands literally means to reunite or to come home to a person that they feel is home. And that tends to be the twin flame dynamic. It tends to mean that this person is wanting to think about settling down. But of course, you're not on hold just for this person to just pick you up whenever they feel like it. So I feel like you are empowering yourself at this time and withdrawing your energy from this. Doesn't mean you don't think about this person, because of course, this figure, the hangman is always a very deep thinker. So I feel you're kind of like a little bit bereft in this, but at the same time, I feel you're transcending because you're going through a spiritual awakening. You're becoming aware of where you're feeling stuck, how you waited, that you kind of like are embracing a new version of you at this time. And a lot of you may also be thinking, well, it's a big old wide world out there, plenty more fish in the sea. I mean, there's only one twin and one twin energy, but at the same time, I feel you're stuck in this. So you're trying to focus on your lust for life, your libido, your energy levels, your passions, because you have that devil card energy. Now, of course, the devil card energy can indicate, because I'm getting a really big pang of temptation. So it can be that, even after periods of being put on hold with this person, you're still tempted to somehow integrate or get involved with this person. But I feel something is different about you right now, where you're like, no, I've been there, done that. So whilst this person is very tempting, very physically alluring, I feel with the hangman there, you're like, no, I don't want the quick fix anymore. You are wanting to, have a whole relationship that is secure, one where you feel safe. And right now there's an energy of you kind of like thinking about this and not feeling like you're in something for the long haul with this person because they're not showing up. So we've got that lover's energy. Yeah. So lover's energy is choice, of course. You know that you've met your twin. There's a lot of love here, okay? You offered unconditional love to this person, and, you offer this person a sanctuary. And the force that binds you together is still binding you together, but maybe in a different form, where, there's this energy that you can't be with each other, but at the same time, you can't be without each other. But the learning curve of this twin flame dynamic is that in separation, this is where you spiritually evolve and grow so that you can redefine the relationship. Twins tend to push back when they need to redefine themselves without fear, trauma. Trauma is the experience that is left after the event. It's something that remains until it is processed and redefined. And, it's something that happened and shaped who a person is, but it should not impede future happiness. So I feel like your person, whatever it is that they've gone through here, they are processing and perhaps needed to step away. But I'm going to pull a card on this because looking at the energy right now, you're pulling back. So in twin flame dynamics, and there's so much about it online, right? But you tend to flip the polarities. The runner becomes a chaser and vice versa. So I feel right now you're withdrawing and you're becoming the runner. You're becoming detached. Even though there's love, you didn't want to have to go this way, but I feel this energy of has this run its course? Because you don't know what else to do. You're stuck. You've done everything that you possibly could. And, you may have even given this person an ultimatum. But I feel with that devil card energy, it's interesting because I'm getting a really strong, disciplined energy where you're like, no, I am not reaching out. Because the hangman is like you're holding back. There's temptation moments where you want to reach out and give them some new information about you or reach out with a message. But the world energy, it's like, you've been there, done that. And I feel you're in a place right now where you're focusing on your priorities, your needs, and they know where you're at. Okay, so that's the energy that I'm getting from you right now. There's still love, and I feel this love binds you both. Because looking at the energy, this pile is their pile of how they feel about you. You feel that this person has kept you waiting. You feel that this person, feels like it's over. I feel like they're learning. I feel like they are entering into a new chapter. You may feel that devil card energy that either they are attached to something that is excessive. Maybe they're living a life of excess right now. Let me see what that devil card is on its own. Can you show me that devil card on its own for my beautiful Aries? What are they feeling about this devil card? We got the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is the cycle of repeat. Same old thing, just a different day. You may be wondering, are they in a cycle of repair? 8 is the number of the self. So you may feel that this person thinks about themselves, or you may feel that this has spun you off into a period of healing, repair, and spiritual evolution, which of course it has, because this will make you focus on your sense of purpose. And I really want you to be aware, because I have to pull a card on this. I'm feeling this person is very much like a closed book, you know, like it's hard to get to know the deep person. You know, there is one under there, but I'm just getting this energy that they're very private. There's a lot off limits with this person. It's connected to their family is what I'm seeing there, especially since we have the Hierophant, which can indicate something passed down from generation to generation, knowledge, wisdom, or patterns, cycles of repeat. So it can be that they have had a certain upbringing where they were told, you know, focus on money over love, get your career off the ground before that. You know, also there's an energy here of, I would say divorce, separation. You know, there's that coming out. Now, of course, that doesn't impact most relationships when a child is witnessing this. It doesn't have to, but I feel it has impacted this person. They may have witnessed parents or guardians divorcing, or very turbulent energy. I'm just being given the word secret, secret, secret. That's all I'm hearing. Secret, secret, secret. So let me just pull a card. Show me the secret, because I feel there's something here at the root. Oh yeah, okay. So we got the Ten of Pentacles again. Ten of Pentacles is the family, okay? It is also marriage. So either this person had a secret marriage, you know, before they met you, or perhaps, you know, they witnessed parents or guardians divorcing, because the Justice card came up, which is basically to go to court for something, or it means a contract in some way. So for some of you, this secret could pertain to, you know, inheritance. Maybe they're like super rich, and they have certain protocols that they have to follow regarding, you know, who they date. I'm not sure. Some people have certain things going on in their family lineage that I'm not even aware of, you know. My family just want me to be happy. So, you know, some people are not like that though. So it depends on your twin flame and their upbringing. But what I'm feeling more than anything here is that there is a family secret, or there is like a secret that this person has kept. It's something to do with the family. So it could be that someone cheated, because we have, you know, the Justice card is a very strong truth card. And when someone feels so strongly about the truth on something, it normally means that they have been betrayed. That's definitely something that's coming in. I feel this person has a trust issue at the very core of them, but it stems right from childhood. Okay. And again, the first foundation of what it means to love is what we witness in the people around us when we're growing up. We're like a sponge when we're a child. We're absorbing everything, very clever, you know, and it can be that they witnessed some things and they thought, well, this obviously is what it means to love. It doesn't feel right, but then you go seeking the quick fix when you get older. You start to gravitate towards relationships because you have unhealed responses, or you have parents or guardians, you know, teaching you basically from an unhealed place, and you absorb that and you start to gravitate towards turbulent relationships, or relationships that make you feel like alive and everything's up and down and it's excessive and it's like passionate, but also bordering on self-sabotaging and all of those things. So I feel this person may have had a sort of experience like that before they met you, or this is something they witnessed and they are emotionally avoidant because of it. However, they're showing up as wanting to get a little bit more involved in love. I mean, the integration card is the World card. Really interesting that you both got this, because both of you right now feel like it's over, or you feel like there's a new chapter here. And I feel this person wants to find a resolution, and they may tell you about this, but there's some sort of resolution or intervention going on with their family. There's something going on in their family, okay? And it's massive, it's huge, whatever this is. And it's something that they felt responsible to either sort out first, because they didn't want it to impact their private life, or because I'm being given this energy of like, sometimes a twin will step away and acknowledge or become aware of where they feel there is a wound or damage or something that they don't want to impact the relationship. And out of fear, they believe that they're either not worthy of love, or they fear that they will mess it up based on their previous experiences or even how things run in their family lineage, and then they run from themselves. Twin flames, they tend to run from themselves. It is a projected energy. So whilst that really is hard to fathom because it feels so personal when your twin pushes away, they often do it because they feel like they're not worthy, or they are incapable of offering you the love that you truly deserve and desire. So they bolt in fear. Now, that's not to give anyone an excuse, of course. Everyone should take accountability for their actions. There should always be responsibility, okay? But what I do see here with the world energy, both of you have it. So that means that you've ended a cycle. So either right now, you've both been through something and you're both like, I need to step away from this. You're both in the separation period on purpose for inner learning. So the rite of passage is playing out right now. And you withdrawing is actually making this person think about you even more, wanting to reunite. Again, it's not a game. They're drawn to you. It's like you're calling them. They can feel it. And I feel this love that binds you both together is actually whispering to them, especially, I would say, when they're in bed, and not in a kinky way. I'm not saying that, but I feel just before bed, they are highly reflective, and they're giving me this energy that you're the last person on their mind. You're the last thing on their mind, how it ended, what you're up to. They think about things, and not in the morning, interesting enough, it's like they focus on their responsibilities when they get up and do their thing, whatever it is that they do. But I'm feeling right before bed, they're always thinking about you. And again, it is more in a very reflective, thoughtful, philosophical way. Like, what is love? What was that connection? Like, why do I keep thinking about Aries? What is it about Aries that keeps drawing me back? Because the Four of Wands indicates they had a great time with you. They see you as passionate, fun to be with. They actually see a friendship in you as well as something more. They've even thought about settling down with you. Ten of Pentacles is the marriage card. Some of you may have actually married your twin as well. Maybe picking up on that. And right now you're in this space, this breath in between, to see if you can find your way back towards each other. Now, I would say with that Four of Wands, your person wants to reunite. Okay, that's what this card literally means. It also means that, again, there's something about friends, family. This person very family oriented, but I feel their focus is on their experiences. And I feel this person, a big part of what they're doing right now is reprogramming toxic behaviors taught by people who are unhealed and even unaware of their patterns, because you have two cards that are all about cycles. So I feel both of you are breaking generational cycles, perhaps different ones, but I feel this is where this person is unlearning a pattern that they have emulated. Okay, I feel like this person misses the person that they had the potential to be, but something got in the way of that. And I feel there's something beyond, because they're showing up right now as like, okay, I'm focusing on my projects, focusing on stability financially. I feel this person, they're thinking about their legacy, and they're thinking about security, settling down. They're thinking about marriage. This is engagement. This is literally engagement card, marriage, okay? Now, I'm going to pull a card because not everybody is dealing with this, but somebody out there may be, because I got a hit of energy come through. It's about 2%, okay? So because we have the marriage cards here, and we have two energies of like walking away, the runner, and the Eight of Cups is like done, going separate directions right now, course correct, not sure where we're at, both on a personal journey of discovery. I'm getting a very small percentage of energy that some of you, your twin may have connected to a karmic or married a karmic. So I'm just going to pull a card on that. If you know that your twin is married to somebody else at this time, just be a little bit mindful, because this person's going to always be drawn back to you. Let me see how that's going. Knight of Cups, they love you. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of cards there. We've got the Justice card. We've got the Three of Cups, yeah. We've got the Seven of Swords, okay. We've got the Five of Swords. This person thinks about you all the time. Four of Cups. This person's fed up in the relationship that they're in, but hey, they got to do something about that. They can't just have their cake and eat it too, if you know what I mean. But I feel this person's waiting something out. Ace of Swords, Devil card, be careful, okay, because I felt it. King of Swords, this person thinks about you all the time. The Devil card is present again. Now, this just can mean that they're feeling stuck in what they're in, or they're feeling stuck with this connection, that they have responsibilities or committed elsewhere, and they're trying to get out of it. I mean, this person will leave this connection eventually, and you should never wait. I've mentioned that already, but we got the Justice card. So it could be that they are waiting for a divorce, or they're going through a divorce at this moment in time. Justice card, they want to tell you the truth about something. They want to find a solution, but it feels very much like a contract, something legally binding there. We've got the Three of Cups, which can indicate this person is, well, I'm getting two energies from this. Three Cups doesn't actually mean three people. I want you to be aware of that. It normally means someone who lives a life of excess, who likes to party, someone who gets intoxicated, may reach out when they're feeling a little bit intoxicated. But with that Three of Cups energy, I am being given, because of the Seven of Swords there, that this person, it's like they wanted to leave a relationship that they feel stuck in, because we've got that Five of Swords. There's self-sabotage at the very core of this person. Seven of Swords is always a runner, okay? We've also got that Four of Cups. They're bored, they're closed off, they're emotionally unavailable, and the karmic energy, if you are someone who knows that your twin has taken a karmic, I mean, I want to like put it like this, okay? If you met your twin when they were with the karmic, okay, they're stuck in what they were bound to, and they will make their decision to either leave when they feel called to. And I don't feel like you're getting involved in this right now. However, if you were involved with your twin and then they took a karmic, I don't see any of you beautiful Aries going back, because of course, you know, you are not an option. You're the choice. You are the person. You're the main character in your story. So you're not going to kind of like have second best there. So I do see that energy. But we've got the Two of Wands. This person is waiting something out. If you know that your twin is connected to a karmic or married to somebody else. We have the Ace of Swords. This person's still going to reach out to you. They're still going to talk to you. So protect your beautiful heart, my wonderful Aries, because of course, this person, they need to come to you good. Aces tend to mean they're going to sever ties with something that is not working for them, especially since we got the Devil card. And I feel the relationship is a little bit toxic, but I don't like to snoop into other people's relationships. This is an energy reading for you and your twin. But, you know, King of Swords, they're going to think before they act, and they will act. And I feel this person will do the right thing, because at the foundation of them is love with that Knight of Cups. Okay? So I feel like they're showing up as wanting to reunite with you, wanting to invest in a future with you, has thought about marrying you probably a million times. But if they were bonded to somebody else, I feel, you know, that relationship will run its course, because a karmic is there to teach lessons. I know I was with a karmic before I met my twin, okay? And the karmic, like, literally smashed my heart into a million pieces, to the point where I was a shell of myself. I felt unlovable. I felt unworthy of love. And of course, the universe ushered in my twin. And as soon as I met my twin, I was like overwhelmed with the amount of love that I had for this person. I was like drawn to this person immediately. As soon as I locked eyes with my twin, I was like, oh my gosh, I just know somehow I'm meant to be with you. We hadn't even spoken. However, you know, I was afraid, because I'd just been so heartbroken by somebody else that I was in fear that love had done that to me last time. Look at what it could do this time. And this was even more of an overwhelming experience. So I put the brakes on. I became the runner at first. Not on purpose. I didn't realize what was going on there, of course. I wanted to shout from the rooftops that I was in love with my twin. And every time I went to tell them, everything got caught up in my throat. I couldn't speak. I would actually just say things like, you know what, let's see how this goes. You know, don't get too comfortable. This isn't a thing. Now, I would say that in jest, like a joke, okay? But actually, there was fear in the root of it. Like, I was like, don't leave me. please don't show me what I've just been shown in another relationship. Deep down, I was just a small little person screaming out in pain, and I was pushing my twin away with those comments when really I wanted to say, oh my gosh, I want to spend my life with you. But because I've had a previous experience, I was shaped in a way that was self-preservation. Like, don't get too close, and of course I pushed my twin away. My point being, humans, we do very complex things, and we all find our way back to self first, unconditional love. We cannot love another until we love ourselves first. And of course, my twin stepped back, rite of passage, that's what happens. And in that space in between, we learn to go away, focus on our purpose, heal, and reunite, of course. And of course, you also flip the polarity. So my twin had to step back, and I became the chaser, the seeker, okay, so that I understood how it felt to be in that dynamic. So I want you to be aware the universe will always orchestrate a meeting and bring you back together. There is a reunite energy on the cards here for you. And how the universe did this for me was that in a huge city of millions of people, I kept bumping into my twin in neighborhoods that I was like, what is this? What are you even doing in my face right now? And vice versa. We were both looking at each other like, oh my gosh, there is something like otherworldly going on. How can we find ourselves face to face in this moment continuously in different areas in a huge city? So, the universe will find a way. Because I'm mentioning this, it's because you have two world cards. You will meet again in the right place at the right time in the right moment. However, I have to say, whilst there is a reuniting energy going on, whether, your twin is currently married or not, I feel the majority energy I'm reading for right now, you're both separate, single entities, okay? And I feel right now, you're separate on purpose to focus on your purpose, to learn more about yourselves, because we have that Hierophant energy, which is about new knowledge. It is also about old knowledge. It's about, breaking through and reprogramming cycles that have played out in your family or your generation. And there is an energy here with that inner teacher that you are in a period of protection in order to, in solitude, learn more about yourself, what you're capable of, what you will accept, what you will not accept, and of course, erect healthier boundaries, okay? So, a very challenging relationship. We've got that Seven of Swords. At the root of your relationship is a trust issue, okay? And the Seven of Swords can indicate that I also feel there's an energy of misunderstanding at the beginning, but I feel like your twin didn't speak up on something, which is the secret I'm being given, the secret about their family or secret that they hold. It's something that happened before they even met you. So it's not something that played out in your relationship. I feel maybe they are afraid that they'll be judged on this in some way, but I feel right now you're judging the connection and the way that this person ended this. I feel both of you are actually remembering how it ended. But with that Four of Wands, I feel, this person wants to reunite, but I would say in the next 6 weeks, because this reading is for the next 6 weeks, Seven of Swords is an energy of protection, okay? As you can see, the eggs are there, which is like delicate, but also there is a snake, which is all about transformation. But at the hidden kind of energy, at the very core, is fear of loss, fear of betrayal, fear of someone taking the love away. Sometimes, and humans are very complex, in order to remain in control and self-preserve energy, people would rather push others away than kind of like get involved in a relationship and then have that relationship run its course, or, someone leave them. Rather than deal with that pain, especially if you've had that pain in the past. I mean, when I had that, wow, I was distraught. I would literally walk down the sidewalk, going to work, my several jobs at the time, just crying my eyes out and uncontrollably. And, I didn't even want to cry. I was like, it was just happening. It was almost like someone pressed a button on my head and was like, cry, activate the cry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am literally shedding tears all the way down the sidewalk. Everyone's looking at me like, you okay? And I'm like, I don't know, because it's just happening. It was such a trauma, what I'd been through, that I was like on autopilot, numb, in fight or flight mode. But also there was this like unconditional kind of like crying, you know, if that's even a thing. Unconditional crying, maybe not. But there was this crying that was just happening. Even at work, someone would say, would you like a cup of coffee? And I go, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this coming from? It was something I couldn't control, okay? So I feel it's important when you get this card, it is such a sharp card. It means someone has sliced your very like belief in like trust and love right to the core. But because there's an egg here, several eggs, and we've got a little nest there, there's something here about marriage or, you know, divorce. There's something here where this person has witnessed, and maybe even you have witnessed this too, my beautiful Aries, and I'm not giving this person like a way out or anything like that. I'm just highlighting that there is a lot of pain that needs to be processed in this connection before you can even start to come together in a union. I would say this relationship, the next 6 weeks, whilst this person wants to reach out to you, if you do hear from this person, you're going to have a cycle repeat. This person is going to play out the whole repetitive cycle. Not because it's intentional, it's because it is an unlearned response. You know, we should take accountability for actions, and I feel this person will in the future, but right now I feel like they're gravitating towards you because they feel empty without you. But at the same time, their fears rise up and they just walk away. And I feel right now you're walking away too. You're like, I can't do this. A lot of you are like wanting to be independent from this. You've learned a lot, lessons perhaps you didn't really want, but I definitely get here that you are like, both of you kind of going on a separate like runner's journey. It feels like both of you are running at this time. There's stalemate. Both of you are in different directions, but the core is still the same because we have that Hierophant. You're both learning, elevating. Now, this came up briefly in a reading recently regarding atoms. They're giving me lots of scientific energy right now, and by they I mean my guides. So they're giving me an energy of like particles being split scientifically, and that you can have one particle in one place. So let's say it's in New York, right? Okay, and then they can bring this other particle that they split, they could put it in space, they could bring it to Chicago, they could bring it to, I don't know, France, wherever, right? They could bring it anywhere. But what happens with this particle here, the other particle, no matter where it is, whether it's in the world or in the universe, it feels it. It acts in the same way. So my guides are highlighting that even though you're separate, you're still connected. You can still feel this person. And what is happening with you right now is happening to your person right now. There is a frequency that is trying to shift into a vibrancy where you can come together in union. But there must be knowledge. There must be a higher ascension, a connection to your higher self. You know, this is a period where you're on a spiritual journey. And for some of you, not all of you, but some of you, there may be a religious factor or a belief factor going on here. And it feels like you've had to just like somehow separate or go your separate ways for now. But I'm just going to pull a card on this. We got 10 of Wands, a lot of baggage. Okay, I want to pull a card separately on after the 6 weeks to see what's going to happen for your twin flame, for the future, the relationship itself. But the 10 of Wands is a lot to unpick. Okay, it means you're so close to a new start, a new beginning. But it also means that, you know, this is about clearing space for the relationship to exist, to say goodbye to emotions, relationships, situations that have held this relationship back or weighed it down. Okay, whoever gets a 10 of Wands, of course, both of you feel like you're stuck in a rut with this for different reasons. But at the same time, you know, both of you are very strong people because you've been through a lot. When you get a 10 of Wands as an outcome energy, it means both of you are ready for change. Okay, and with that catalyst for change, because I feel both of you are not seeing the results that you want in this connection right now, I feel you will both open up and surrender to this connection and find an alternative way. So let me just see after the 6 weeks, because looking at the 6 weeks right now, I would say, I mean, they want to connect to you. It's like mixed signals right now, but the actions, 7 of Swords, 8 of Cups, if you know the meanings, you'll know that these are like runner energy. Personal journey of discovery, letting go, seeking deeper meaning in other areas of life, you know. So I feel right now, looking at the outcome there's no communication, but I want to see after the 6 weeks. Show me this after the 6 weeks. Nine of Swords, fear, Five of Cups. Okay, there's going to be conversation about loss and fear of loss in love. I feel Five of Cups is so important. There's a grief going on here. For some of you, there may actually be a grief, like you are grieving somebody. I'm sending you a huge hug out there if that's you, whether you are, the twin flame who's a chaser or the cross watcher, so much love and a massive hug out there. But also this can be like on a level where both of you are grieving a part of yourselves right now because of the fear. Nine of Swords, I would say your person is haunted by the loss of this connection, that there was a potential for love, but they didn't see it until it was too late. I feel this person does regret. That's literally what these cards mean. The Nine of Swords can be haunted. And as you know, well, if you don't, please look it up, because the Nine of Swords in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, but a lot of you know that card, there is a figure lying in bed. Well, they're sitting up in bed, okay? And the swords are there and they're holding their head in grief. So this can indicate that at night, just before bed, this person is thinking about you and they regret losing you. The Five of Cups is an indication that this person may have been dealing with loss before they met you. And when someone's dealing with loss, they're afraid to lose again. But I feel the breakdown of the relationship is being lamented right now by both parties. And both of you are disappointed with the way things have gone, maybe even shocked. But the Five of Cups is interesting because the Five of Cups has a figure lamenting three cups that are spilt. Each time this person comes back, it doesn't work. You're trying. All these emotions are being spilt. You feel empty. You feel exhausted, tired, fed up with the way that it's going. But if that figure would just turn around and stop focusing on all the things that they are fearful of or they feel they've lost, then they would see that love reigns. There's two cups there that are full. That means the universe wants to usher you together and be in a union. But I feel something needs to be processed. And I feel both of you can, in the future, really appreciate that love is at the core and that there is love left in this. However, accountability needs to be taken. So I'm just going to see what's going on. As I said, we've got the King of Swords. Yeah, you're getting the same cards there. King of Swords, this person thinks about you a lot. And the Knight of Cups, and it is love. This person is in love with you. And they're thinking deeply before they act. This person will act. Swords are all about communication, messages. King of Swords takes a long time to actually reach out and message. But I want you to be aware it will happen. It'll happen after the 6 weeks. I honestly can't tell you when, because normally I can kind of pinpoint a time, but I feel a lot of you, I just heard August, end of August. So a lot of you may hear from this person. That's the cusp. I'm doing this reading like end of August is like 5 weeks time. So that is under the 6 weeks radar. Some of you will actually hear from this person just before the 6 weeks, but I feel the majority of you, looking at the energy, it's after, okay? But it is going to be a message of love. And I feel this person is going to perhaps even tell you that they may be talking to a counselor or someone that they go to that's in an establishment that can listen to what's going on with them, to help them understand their feelings and become more emotionally available. Because I feel this person gravitated to you a lot because you healed them. You gave them a balance. You offered them joy. But it's really important to recognize that a healer is often a person you go to for healing, okay? But not in the way that you think. Because a healer is the person who triggers the things within you so that you open up to your own healing. You heal yourself. So if you go to a counselor, for example, the counselor will ask leading questions that prod you in certain directions to discover things within you that perhaps lay dormant or you never even thought about, to find the root, the cause. And you may have offered a platform for this person and they felt very kind of like secure in your energy, but there were moments where they couldn't uncover what it is that's the block in the relationship. So they got scared and like pushed away. They may not have understood it, because I'm getting this energy from the Five of Cups. This person seeking to understand. They cannot understand what has gone wrong or why it keeps going wrong. So I feel this person may reach out to a counselor and tell you about it. Okay, let's go to some final decks just to see what has been left unsaid. This deck has lots of conversations in there. Anything this person would like to say. We've got I dream about a future with you. They got the Ten of Pentacles, which is the marriage card. It's full investment. They've also got the Four of Wands, living with you. They feel like you're home. The World card, though, they feel like it's over. They feel they've learned a lot of lessons, but they can kind of understand that their actions have repercussions. That's the energy I'm getting. Now, I'm going to address this card first because this is a card where I'm like, really? Because you've had a lot of patience in this connection. To have the Hangman, you've been waiting a long time and learning about twin flame dynamics. But it says here, please give me time to open up. Now, I feel actually this is now going to be on both sides because you've waited a long time. And now this person has to prove to you with action rather than words that, you know, they can offer a secure relationship if they're ever to win you back. I mean, looking at the energy, I can't see that you are going back to this at this time. I feel like you're fed up. You're done. We've also got, I distance myself to avoid my feelings. I definitely see this person is emotionally avoidant. Okay, there's something within them where there's fear. They wouldn't be getting a Nine of Swords, a Seven of Swords, if they weren't very cerebrally connected to their fears. There's a Devil card energy there as well, which can indicate that fear or some sort of toxic pattern got in the way, blocked this connection. And you may also be anxious about the way that this relationship has gone and thought, you know what, I'm not going to get involved in this again because it's just going to be the same old thing. I fear you will move away from me. Now, interesting, because we have two World cards here, so either there has been a discussion about moving to a different part of the world, or there is physical distance, but this can be that this person fears loss. So either they've been in a connection before where someone has actually just detached and left them, and they haven't healed that part of themselves, because remember, the twin flame dynamic is to amplify anything that went before so that they cannot ignore it. They must heal it before they can join in union with their twin. And of course, I mentioned this one already. I dream about a future with you. And I feel that is true to this person. They do. However, their actions must reflect how they feel, or must reflect what they truly want. Because of course, a person, you know, when they find the courage to overcome an obstacle, they will step up or they will step out. Right now, both of you are stepping out because it's not the right time. Divine timing has separated you on purpose to focus on your mission. So let us go to this final deck. Now, this deck can highlight anything that we didn't pick up on in the reading, of course. Reunion and regret. I definitely picked up on regret and reunion, but it's not going to be immediate. This person does want a reunion. I mean, you could get any card in this deck. I'm just going to highlight to you. There's this awakened fears. Of course, that would be relevant as well. But there's celebration. They want to tell you something that they're celebrating. Hesitation, intensity. There's even ones that say, like, not available. Don't want to get involved in this. Unexpected events that just popped out. Maybe that's relevant as well. Something that shocked. But, when I shuffled, these cards came out regret. So I feel there is regret here. Five of Cups is regret. But also it is a fear of loss and disappointment. It says here, living in the past with regrets can take a toll on the mental health. Start making positive choices to live a happy and empowered life. And this person may tell you that they are doing that, but I feel like they got caught up in a past narrative that they found really hard to get out of. And of course, finally, we've got reunion there. So that's what's on this person's mind. But they have a long way to go to get to this point to be able to offer you, you know, reciprocity in a relationship. It says, both of you have learned a lot about yourselves and understand the potential of your connection. That's why you've got the learning card right there. This reunion will be physical in nature. So you'll see your person face to face. I would say it's not in the next 6 weeks, because your outcome for the next 6 weeks is an Eight of Cups and a Seven of Swords, which means two people at stalemate going in different directions at this moment in time on a personal journey of discovery, being more independent. But in the future, I would say, because your person is going to try and reach out to reunite with you, I feel like you will see each other again, okay? But just protect your wonderful heart, my beautiful Aries, because I feel, you know, you will repeat a cycle with this person again. And that's your prerogative. I'm just letting you know the energies that are there. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Okay, so we have the arrow. Okay, so this is to be direct, to focus on your sense of purpose, to aim for something that's a little bit higher right now. Because, of course, twin flames, you hold yourself to higher standards every time you try and reunite with each other. So I feel you're kind of like aiming for higher vibrations. But more than anything, I feel this is about your sense of purpose. Both of you are focused on your life purpose right now. Okay, so I will leave that there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you, my beautiful Aries. Thank you so much, and love and light.